Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, March 5th, 2015 by Gaia Blooming. Today our energy mantra is I alight my personal magic. And today we have a full moon in Virgo. This full moon is happening at 10:05 a.m. Pacific time. And I really do enjoy the energy of the full moon in Virgo. This full moon is really interesting because it's actually going to be trine, which is a favorable connection. It's going to be trine Pluto in Capricorn. So full moons always, can stir up stuff within us. I always say the light of the moon kind of shines on our deepest emotions. The moon can represent that which is hidden in us. So the light kind of brings into play those deepest parts. And Pluto also can bring up those deepest parts. So if you're feeling anything rising to the surface, today's not the day to shove it down. It's like, let it come through, let it out. If you have to scream it out, if you have to, physically, thwack it out. That's the word, thwack.
Whack it out? Okay.
Thwack. And that's how you got to let it out. Let these things out. Because Virgo is very much, a grounded energy sign. And, the sun in Pisces is opposite the moon. That's what happens in a full moon. It's like the sun is basically opposite the moon. And so Pisces is inviting this magic to come in. But if you have anything within you that's blocking the incoming, or blocking the energy within you, it's your chance to shine that light and let it out. And what I'm really feeling with this moon is it's your opportunity to bring in this magic. I was having a lot of, Walt Disney energy coming through, and the vision that he saw and the magic that he wanted to bring, the smiles, the joy that he wanted to bring to the world. So how can you bring your own magic? How can you bring your magic to change the world? But if you have this stuff, this old dark stuff, those beliefs, the I can't, I don't know how's, it doesn't work for me, I can't, that's blocking that flow. So it's time to actually get into your physical antenna, which is our body, and shine that light, shine the light of the moon, so that you can release those things. And Pluto, being a part of this full moon, is really helping release that energy. The sun is actually also connecting into Pluto today. Again, helping shift any beliefs or any of those, those things that held us back from stepping into that energy. So how are you going to change your world with your own personal magic? And I just want to mention, I love the Sabian symbol for 14 degrees. It happens at the end of 14 degrees, which is an aristocratic family tree. And it's just saying here, this family tree, this energy, this grounded energy is available to you and supporting you so that you can grow your own magic. The last thing that I want to mention with this is that this full moon is called the worm moon. And they call it this because the ground is softened. The snow is melting, the ground is softening, it's not quite as cold, and it's about time to start planting those seeds. So it's called the worm moon because the worms, which help our seeds grow and give it oxygen and, magic power, magic worm power, is happening, right now. This is happening on our earthly level. So plant those seeds. Nikki?
That's a good segue to what I was getting for this moon. Being a Virgo myself, this is a really great time to grow. And so I want to talk a little bit about, we are already grounded in the Pisces energy. So since we have a sun in Pisces, there's a lot of higher self energy already coming through. God energy, like I said, your God self, your higher self is coming through, yearning to do its purpose here on the planet. But we can't do our purpose unless we ground it out. That Virgo, make it real, manifest it, right? So what your subconscious is telling you, if you're not doing what you need to be doing, that higher purpose, that higher self, that God energy, that magic energy, the pipe dreams, if we don't have any reality, your dreams are just pipe dreams. If you're not setting out on your path and really putting that good old-fashioned hard, dirty work, putting your hands in the soil, going in there, even if there's worms in the ground, oh, good, you're making my ground fertile, you have to stick your hands in that dirt and plant those seeds. So what Virgo's saying is, and you might have a hard one if you're kind of dragging your feet on doing the physical work, is Virgo's going to tap you on the shoulder and say, I know you got all these dreams, sweet Pisces energy, but we need to get this thing going. And you need to do what you got to do, and we got to do the plan. And I think this Pluto Capricorn energy, Capricorn, right? And Pluto, which is Pluto is all this energy of, you know, that subconscious too, and kind of death rebirth. And Capricorn, your inner control freak or your inner planner, you know, he's going, we got a plan, we got a plan. So you have them trining this Virgo and the Capricorn going, look, if you utilize us right now, we're going to help you plan this gosh darn thing out so you can have these Pisces higher self dreams into reality. And it's time to do it. So this full moon, if you don't already have a plan, you should get down, like a Virgo should say, get down with your planner and your little notebook and write down your next small physical step. Not an etherical step like, oh, this is what it should look like. It needs to be like, tomorrow I get, you know, it's tax season, I got to get my taxes done. You know, do something that's going to be physically grounding for you so you can, because if you didn't, you know, if you don't have, I'm doing this right now, you know, if you don't have a financial plan, how are you going to build your business? How are you going to build your company? How are you going to build your dream? So it's time to make that physical first step, because spring's coming, things can blossom, things can flourish, but you gotta get it started, and you gotta physically do it this time, and not just talk about it. It's really time to physically plant your seeds and allow your flowers to blossom come, you know, 3 months from now. And you'll thank yourself. I promise you, you'll thank yourself in 3 months from now that you actually put the blood, sweat, and tears into what you wanted to do.
I absolutely agree with that. And I think this March in particular is such a powerful time of beginnings and endings, and especially those endings, so those new beginnings, those spring, those plants can flourish and come about. Our next moon after this is actually going to be an eclipse. So we know that's always a really powerful time. So if you get those steps going now, that's going to be huge come, you know, all these big March events, which is also the final Uranus-Pluto square, which has been shifting us so much. So it's really great advice.
The final countdown. So I'm going to pull a card for the full moon.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Let's pull a card for the full moon in Virgo. The no-thingness. So, you know, this card is usually like the void, right? So if you are stuck in that void, we've got to bring it in. But the void is such a great thing because you can manifest anything. But you got to pull it out and you got to bring it in. The one thing that I got with it was the comparison card, this 5 of, so you might be stucking yourself. You might be, yeah, kind of. You might be, you know, paralyzing yourself a little bit because you're comparing yourself to somebody else, or the way that they're doing it, or you're not good enough, or they're not good enough, or whatever. And that's a paralysis. You don't need to do that. Because I love the card. What the card says in the book, it says, you know, the bamboo, it's like as silly as a bamboo comparing himself to an oak tree. They're just different. You can't say that the bamboo is better than the oak tree. The oak tree is better than the bamboo. It's like comparing apples and oranges. So stop worrying about what other people are doing, or they're doing it quicker than you, or you're not getting da-da-da. Stop that. It's a mind game. Cut it out. Go back to the blank space like a chalkboard and jot down what you want to do.
Absolutely.
You have the power to do anything you want.
Infinite possibilities. I've been talking this week. One of my favorite things is Om Bhavan Nama. It's one of my favorite mantras. I am absolute existence. But absolute existence takes that manifesting work. So.
Yeah, we didn't come here to just be absolute existence. We came here to create infinite possibilities, but you have to create it. I think that's the big thing, especially in this world sometimes. I feel like a lot of people kind of get stuck in the etherical world, and they forget how to really own their beauty and walk it here on the planet and, like, share it in a way, and really learn kind of the rules of the game here. I know that I don't really love playing the rules of the game, but we're in the rules of the game, so we have to. And that's the hardest part for me. But it's okay to play the rules. I mean, of the game. That's what that Capricorn and Pluto's saying. You got to play the rules of the game if you want your magic. That's kind of how I feel.
And I like that you use the play the rules of the game. It's a game. Just remember that. Be in the game. I think my hardest balance with this whole energy is learning when to surrender and when to take the action. And I've done both things. I took action when I shouldn't have. I've surrendered too much when I needed to, like, take the action. It's working with those together, hand in hand. And that's the energy of Neptune or Pisces and Virgo, is knowing when to be in the flow and to surrender and when to take that action.
Yeah.
So I think we're finished.
Cool.
So have a beautiful moon, a beautiful full moon, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.
Namaste.